All right, so I just clicked the live stream button and it says we are ready to live stream, and I'm just waiting for the stream to appear on YouTube before I start, guys. So, my God, I'm still kind of figuring out what is happening here. I just woke up and it shocked me awake, right? This event completely shocked me this morning because I didn't expect how fast things would move and how fast a bank like Silicon Valley Bank would collapse. So I think this puts everything into perspective for today's video. So look at Fed raises rates. That's the smallest domino to worry about. Crypto, Alameda, FTX, Silvergate, and then Silicon Valley Bank. This is the biggest banking collapse in the last decade. This is absolutely insane. And it was so crazy how fast it fell because we saw the warning signs earlier this week. Just yesterday, we're talking about, okay, yeah, they're in trouble. They're trying to raise money. And now today it's a situation where, yep, they failed to raise more money and they're gone. Now, this has massive implications for crypto because companies like Circle with their SUSDC, this is one of the biggest stable coins in crypto. And it's meant to be one of the safest because it's in an American bank. It's transparent. It's audited. It's in the banking system. And now the banking system rug pulled them. So they have around 20% exposure in Silicon Valley Bank. So what we're going to talk about in today's video, guys, is kind of the implications. What is happening on this market? What is going on? And also the implications, the long-reaching, the short-term, the long-term, the mid-term, the long-term reaching implications of everything that is happening here. So this is also one of the first live streams I've been doing for, I've been doing live streams before, but this is one of the first ones that I have been doing in this room in recent days. I just finished my move. My place is a total mess. I mean, if I move a bit, you probably see like, yeah, just stuff everywhere. Like fucking, there's but this has to come now. This live stream had to come now. I decided I got this morning. I was like, I have to talk about this with you guys. There's so much to cover. We need to cover if USDC is safe. And in fact, there's immediate reactions on the market already. So if you look at the chart of USDC, some people are dumping. Some people are fearful. Look. If it's green, that means it's above $1, right? But if it's in the red, which is what we're seeing right here, let me see if you guys can see that. Yes, if it's in red, right, that is in trouble. We also see Bybit whales shorting the living shit out of USDC. So people are definitely fearful. People are moving their money right now. And it's an important time. Like if you've been hibernating in crypto, all right, if you haven't been in crypto these past few days, this is the time to come back right now, right freaking now, because there's so much that's going on. You need to protect your assets. If if you're exposed to USDC, you definitely need to think of how to protect it. And it's not a short-term strategy. I'll tell you about this, right? The urgency is not 100%. Like, don't let the adrenaline take you, right? Not financial advice, actually emotional advice maybe, but don't let the adrenaline take you. Make logical, well thought out strategies at times like this. Howard Ran says, should we tell you to sell USDC? This is the question everyone's asking. But the problem here, all right, this is a big but, and this is why I say this is not going to be a short strategy, because the problem here is that where else do you go? Right, that is a frightening question, right? So if you have exposure to USDC, all right, you're gonna freak out. What you want stables? Where do you go? USDT? Huh? That might even be worse, right? Because that's not even audited. We don't even know what's going on there, all right? Do you go to banks now, right? Silicon Valley Bank, huh? Well, that collapsed. Well, what else is next? Silvergate? No, that's dead, right? So only Signature is left if you want to exit crypto into fiat. Right, this is how scary it is, and Signature Bank just got their shares plummeted by 20% because people are fearful. People are thinking, okay, are they next? Right? This is absolutely insane. So right now, it's not a time to trade on emotions. It's a time to make well thought out assessments. That being said, of course, we did a very quick analysis, TLDR. I know I shouldn't really even give TLDRs in videos like this, but the calculations so far. Right, the quick assessment that's done on Twitter that I think is actually quite valid. This is done by AV Feldman. He says that USDC has 11 billion split between 7 banks. 2 were SPV and Silver SI. If 20% of it is in SPV, so this is what we kind of think right now. So in fact, they actually told us to. Let me just clarify this. So if 20% of Circle's money is in SPV, the haircut on SPV is 92%. Then the backing on USDC is cut by 182 million, which is easily absorbed by the balance sheet. So that's kind of the TLDR. So far, this I actually think does make sense. So they might have a loss of 182 million, but it's not going to be a game changer. So long as everything plays out, so long as this holds true, so long as the haircut on Silicon Valley Bank is 92%. But if it's not, then it could be in trouble. So yeah, yet again, we'll take a look at the news and everything in today's episode and today's live stream, guys. Look, guys, I'm super excited to be back on a live stream. I welcome everyone. Welcome. We've got Angela Wang, Crypto Graham, Box Fan, Crypto King, Llama. We got Joe Bluff. Everyone coming back in. Thank you, guys. We got BetaBot also coming back in to our live stream. So I'm gonna do this way more often in the future. I hope the audio and stuff works out. So guys, tell me where you guys are from. All right. Tell me where you guys are from. All right. Tell me what you guys are fearful about. We're gonna answer all these questions in today's live stream. All right. So let's get a little bit started. Let's get started. And also, guys, I just asked this a favor for you guys. So I haven't done live streams for a long time. I know this was my bread and butter, but I haven't done that for a while. So I'm asking you guys to just share these videos a little bit. I've been putting so much effort back into box mining and restarting the channel. It's actually a lot harder than I originally thought it would be, to be honest. Like restarting YouTube is a massive pain. We've been working on new content, new styles as well. So if you guys want to share and check out anything that's happening on this channel, like please do. It really helps with everything here. So yeah, I really appreciate it if you guys would share this video or ask some questions, and it greatly helps. So all right, let's get started. Let me go and check out what's happening on the cryptocurrency markets first. CoinGecko. Let's go. Oh man, just the anticipation today. So it's just so much anxiety. So all right, first and foremost, good news on the markets. We did not respond by catastrophically falling today, which is actually quite a good sign. I've been saying this for a while, that the implication here is quite massive, right? Like this is a massive collapse of a US bank, and it kind of highlights the power and the need for Bitcoin. And the question here really, so I would say that that's a fact, right? Like the power of Bitcoin, Bitcoin being the most powerful form of self-custodied asset, right? This is money that you can hold. This is money that you actually have. If you put it in a bank, it doesn't work, right? This is the craziest part, right? The craziest part is that the reaction is not, why we're in crypto, and when I drank, and why I drank the Kool-Aid for Bitcoin. It's not because Bitcoin is freaking amazing. It is, but it's also because it's the realization that the banks are absolute trash, right? That was what was the biggest driving factor. So like if you look at this tweet, I actually got this last night. So it says, Michael, not to add to the current FUD, but I would spread your assets across many banks. And that this is some of the best advice, right? Like if you're in traditional banks, if you have funds held on banks, you don't want to run into a problem of a bank going under. Sure, there's insurance, right? Insurance can cover up to 250K, but what if you're beyond that, right? You need to spread your wealth. The power of Bitcoin is that you always have your keys and you always have access to those funds, and you always can monitor on the blockchain where those funds are. So I think that's why the markets aren't down today, all right? Like normally speaking, a big collapse of a big bank like this All right. If you look at the implications, I saw a very good tweet here. So this is a CEO of Y Combinator, Gary Tang, says this is an extinction level event for startups, and it will set startups and innovation back 10 years and more. Right. So this is an extinction level event for startups, but it's not an extinction level event for crypto. And I think another reason why people are just jumping is because, look, you already see that people are trying to jump to Tether right now. And some people are going to jump to Bitcoin and Ethereum right now because they are starting to realize, okay, look, if I have all this USDC and USD collapses, right? What next, right? It's probably less risky to just buy Bitcoin and hodl it in a ledger or a treasure at this current point, right? Put your keys in here, not in an exchange, not in a stable coin. The maxi part of this is taking over. So yeah, markets are definitely not that bad, even though it's a complete extinction level event in the startup space. The crypto space, we're actually doing fine. And that the implication here is that crypto is immune to this, right? Crypto is designed to be immune to this. But the problem here is the realization. I think this is the biggest problem. This is why like it took so long for crypto to get adopted too, right? Because at the end of the day, it takes people a while to click. It might click for me, it might click for you guys, right? This is why we stand at advantage here. But it might take the guys in Silicon Valley, they might take a year to figure out this because Silicon Valley Bank just fell. But the other guys in New York, right, they might take 10, 20 years to figure this out. So this is why it takes a while. All right, guys. So let's look at SBV. So, okay, Shorty Shrews is pointing this out already. If you don't think Tether has lots of cash in SBV, you are nuts. And absolutely, I believe that Tether has a lot of money in Silicon Valley Bank. And why is this, right? I mean, you guys can probably ask why is this? Because it's extremely hard to get money into crypto, right? This has been just very well known for the longest period of time. This is why I think every single stablecoin has exposure to SPV in some way, right? SVP, all right? So because it's just so hard to get money in and out of crypto. Think about it. The biggest bank, Signature. Second bank, biggest bank, Silvergate, right? But then, of course, the tech-friendly startup banks, that's where Silicon Valley Bank is. And where people or funds traditionally think this is a safe place to put our money. It's safe. It's gonna be fine. Well, it's not. So, crypto lances. USDT depegged to 2.01 at curve. USDC is fine at 1 chill. It's gonna. I actually feel like it's gonna take a while for the market to fully react to what's going on. I don't think we've even seen the actual exact implications, right? Think about it. This just happened yesterday, and people are not even thinking about what's gonna happen on the regulatory space afterwards. That's gonna be insane. That is going to be nuts because the regulators are going to just use this as a reason to come after crypto, right? We are going to be hunted, even though it's not our fault. That's the worst part, right? But this is always how the world works. They're going to just blame crypto for this, right? It's amazing and it's stupid how this goes. So let's take a look at what happened on SBV front. So basically, the CNBC is calling this the second biggest bank collapse in U.S. history. Happened in 48 hours. Exciting title. But okay, the company downward spiral began late Wednesday when it surprised investors with news that it needed to raise $2.25 billion to shore up its balance sheet. This was a hysteria-induced bank run caused by VCs. So basically what happened was that VCs withdrew a staggering $42 billion of deposits by the end of Thursday. So they were running for it. They knew, right? The VCs in Silicon Valley knew something was going wrong. And this is the problem. They're the insiders. They're the ones that got the money out first, right? They're safe now. The $42 billion likely to be safe. Now, this is apparently one of the biggest bank runs in history. And really, what happened is that recently, so on Friday, withdrawals were paused, and now it's pretty much shut down. Now you have to wait for insurance to figure out, how much you're gonna get back. The crazy part here is that a lot of Silicon Valley Bank customers, they're not retail. They're not mom and pop stores, because the retail will be covered, right? $250,000 will be covered if you're an individual investor holding funds in SVB. That's how the insurance for these banks works, because this is an insured bank, right? FDIC insured bank. But then, of course, the problem here is that the big banks, the big funds, right? The big companies, the startups, right? They'll have money in Silicon Valley Bank. So the effect of this will not hit, the biggest hit people will be startups and the big funds who haven't withdrawn money yet. All right, I actually have a tweet, so I'm gonna find this tweet for you guys. Circle. Let's see what the official tweet is on this. All right, so this is the official tweet from Circle. Silicon Valley Bank is one of the 6 banking partners Circle uses for managing around 25% portion of USDC reserves held in cash. While we await clarity on how the FDIC receivership of SVB will impact its depositors, Circle and USDC will continue to operate normally. So you can feel the effects by just how politely they phrase this. I mean, this is box money. We always read between the lines here, right? It looks what they're trying to say, and that what they're trying to tell is that Circle will operate normally for now, right? And what's in between the lines? Well, they had to declare this because they have to be transparent. They're saying that around 25% of their USDC reserves are held here. This is the scary part, because the statement of Circle and FDIC USDC will operate normally hinges on FDIC receivership. Man, this tweet is so carefully crafted. Like, you can see just the team of lawyers trying to craft this tweet, trying to calm people down, but at the same time covering their asses. So if something goes wrong, right? If FDIC receivership of SBV Bank will not go well, the following statement will no longer be true, right? That's reading between the lines, right? So things won't operate normally if things don't go well here. So, so they're trying to calm things down. But we've seen this before. We're in crypto. We're seeing damage control, and we've seen that across the board. There are a lot of companies that are also saying and distancing themselves away from both USDC and, of course, SVB. Right? This is gonna be. I'm gonna search for tweets here. The crazy part is the sad part, I guess, is that. Well, that I read a lot of these tweets, but then I read them on my phone, right? So I need to streamline the process, guys. I really want to do better, and it'll be better in the future. So here we go. So reading between the lines, uninsured depositors will receive a receivership certificate for the remaining amount of uninsured funds. So this is really the biggest problem here, and this is what can drastically affect USDC. So basically, we need to see how much money is remaining in Silicon Valley Bank and how much money they can get out. Now, we know for sure, so the crazy part here, I would say, and a sad part here is that if you hold USDC, you're an individual, you might think you're an individual customer and you should get the most protection, right? Because, you're just holding a little bit of USDC. But the problem is USDC will Circle, they're an institution. They hold a big collection of customer funds, right? So the problem here is that the insurance doesn't cover these large institutions. They're part of the uninsured category, right? They get coupons. So I mean that's what this tweet is saying. They basically get coupons after if this goes bad. Now, I guess I have to explain this a little bit here as well because I've been a victim of crypto exchange collapses. I've been a victim of FTX. This is the first time I've seen or I've been partially exposed. I mean, I do have a little bit of USDC, so not gonna lie there, right? So I have partial exposure to this. Now, obviously, the best way is always to go into Bitcoin. But we know in crypto that sometimes you need to have exposure to US dollars. You have to have a little bit exposure to just any fiat. And this is part and parcel of our transition into a full decentralized economy. Now, my experience, right? So I think my first experience with a collapse of any sort is with Mt. Gox. And to this day, right? Today is, let me see what today is. Today's March 11th, right? To this day, I still haven't received a single dollar from Mt. Gox. That's how these coupons work, right? So this is the trouble that USDC is gonna face, right? So what my reaction here is what's gonna happen with Circle is people are gonna withdraw US dollars immediately. The people who can withdraw from Circle, they're gonna withdraw immediately. That's the institutional investors. These are OTC desks that have a good, close relationship with Circle. They're going to withdraw immediately because they really don't want things to go bad. So this is where I think Circle needs to have an emergency plan because the more people that withdraw and if there's a hole, right, the bigger that hole is going to be. That's the messed up part. So far, the good news is that if the hole is only 160 million, they can definitely cover it. And I do believe that. Right, I do believe that because Circle does make money from these deposits. Right, if it's $182 million, they can quickly deposit it. So it depends on how strong their tweets are going to be in the coming few days. This current tweet that came out just now, this is a contingency tweet. This is damage control. They're not saying things are fine. They're saying if things don't go shit to shit, we are fine. That's kind of what the current tweet from Circle is saying, right? Pending what's going to happen with FDIC and receivership, right? Circle will operate normally, right? Depending on what's going to happen there. That's what they're saying. But what I'm looking for in the next few days is for more stronger statements to say, you know what? They can fully cover this hole if with just deposits, right? I mean, their business model is super simple. Right? They take people's money, right? People's fiat dollars, US dollars, and then they issue a stable coin for it. Now, they still hold the US dollars, right? So they can deposit it anywhere. And then they can get the interest on it, right? If you have billions of dollars, right, getting 5% interest or 4% interest, depending on which bank they go to and what rates they can negotiate, that's a lot of money, right? So let's see, Circle has $11 billion. I'll just 11 billion, 11. All right, let's see, 11. Let's say it's just 11 billion. All right, so that's how many zeros? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. All right, let me do some math here. All right, oopsies. All right, let's do some math. That's $11 billion times 0.0. Let's say it's conservatively 0.04. All right, so per year, how many zeros is that? Wow, that's $440 million per year if they get 4% interest on the deposits. So this is kind of why I'm not fully panicking, right? Like but then to be fair, I don't have that much money in USDC. I'm not gonna freak out. But this is why I'm not immediately panicking because their business model is simple, right? Because they hold customer funds and they're not giving us any of this interest, right? So if you hold USDC, right, you're not going to get any interest on your USD, the USD that it's meant to be held in the bank, right? It's meant to be 1-to-1. One USDC equals to $1 in the bank, but you don't get any of the interest on the bank, right? Circle just takes that, right? That's why their business model is super simple. Just keep their money, right? But the problem is they fucked up on that, right? That's the sad part. But anyways, so Circle claims to have $11 billion. So if this is true, right? So they'll be making 440 million per year if there's a 4%. If they get 4% interest, they might even get more. So that's why I don't think the hole is that big, right? So I'll have to see. But but if this holds true, right? If this analysis holds true, then I don't think USDC is in that big of a trouble as of now. So TRDR, relax, it's fine. These guys can make money. In fact, they were making money prior to this as well. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see. The problem, of course, I think the bigger problem is definitely with USDT, right? Because everyone's fearing this because they're the ones in the open declaring that, hey, we have exposure to Silicon Valley Bank, right? They're the ones who are transparent about this. But USDT, Tether, right? This is even a bigger stable coin, right? With $72 billion of cap, right? How much money do they have there? This is going to be crazy because US Tether audits are a mess. Tether audits are a mess. They don't provide very good audits. They don't tell you what accounts they have. And a lot of accounts that they're holding their money, it's just by kind of a gentleman's agreement, right? I mean, this is the most ridiculous business model ever. And this is the case that I definitely suspect they have money there, right? There's no way they don't have money there because as Silicon Valley Bank is one of the most tech-friendly startup banks out there, right? And Tether, for them, it's so much easier for them to explain what cryptocurrencies are, how they got the money, and how the business model works to people who are friendly to tech, right? This is why Circle has money in there in the first place, right? So I definitely believe they have money there, right? I definitely believe they have exposure. And then the worst part is we don't even know what account names they're under because Circle is a little bit, no, not Circle, but Tether is not nowhere near as transparent about, what names they use for the bank accounts. That's going to be rough. That's going to be rough. So that's going to be a hard part. So we'll see how much people panic. Asia's waking up right now. So Asia, they're big believers in USDT. So I do suspect in the next 24 hours, the immediate reaction from the general public will be, oh my God, right? USDC is in trouble. It's, oh my God, because 25%, not just 20%, 25% of customer funds are in USDC, right? That they even said that on a tweet, right? But that being said, right? Circle. But that being said, I think the bigger problem is actually with USDT. Yeah, this already got 633 views. Crazy insanity. So Damian Wen says, "Oh, this is live." Yes, absolutely. Welcome to a live show. Where we're really reacting to what's happening in the market. I'm gonna open up this to discussion as well. So we're gonna discuss a few different topics right now. Some people are asking. I think this is the immediate reaction. A lot of people who are in crypto are asking, how do I safely save cryptocurrencies? Well, Ledger or Trezor. I'm not going to take favorites, but these are the two top wallets that you can store your cryptocurrencies, right? This is your bank, right? This is the scary part about crypto too, right? This is where a lot of people don't understand, right? When you're in crypto, you are the bank, right? That's amazing because banks like Silvergate and Silicon Valley Bank, they can't rug you, right? They can't just go like, oh yeah, we're going under, but hopefully you get your money back, right? That's what they kind of say. Yeah, hopefully you get your money back. Here, right? You get access to your keys. You're mathematically guaranteed to your assets, right? And math is just fucking amazing. But mathematically guaranteed, not on some word of a politician, not on a word of some banker who's, they're probably running. They probably fled. Let's be honest here. That's how it works. All the smart bankers, they flee a sinking ship long before it happens, but they're probably the ones who caused it. But yeah, these are mathematically guaranteed to make sure you have your assets. But the other downside is that you are responsible for protecting your cryptocurrencies, right? So that means, we have Graham say, don't take a picture of your keys. And I actually did that once. I was stupid. But I was making a tutorial video on how to set up MetaMask. And then, obviously I'll have to write down those phrases down, right, on a video. And then for some stupid reason, I imported that into a wallet and started using it. And then that money was stolen immediately, right? Like obviously protect your keys, right? Don't make stupid mistakes. That was the one stupid mistake, but the good thing is it wasn't big, very damaging. It was just like a small for fun wallet. But I actually think that it's quite important. We have a lot of safety procedures that you have to keep. In fact, including not telling people that you have crypto. All right. Crypto Glasson says, I have 8 ledgers and spread all my funds evenly. So that's great. That's great. Having multiple devices, that's great. Also, I think refreshing devices is important. Like, okay, look, we use these devices, but these devices are really like quality-wise, not really great. This button, not doing great right now. All right. So having multiple devices help. But the other thing here is that you must save your backup keys in a very safe place. And there's actually multiple ways of doing it. If you want to be like ultimately secure, there's ways where you can split your recovery phrase into 4 different but portions. And if you recover 3 of them, you can recover your key, something like that. It's very complicated. We can talk about that in the future episode. So Angela Wang says, I remember the MetaMask incident. Exactly. Imagine. All right, guys. So let's take a look at what's happening and what people are saying. EE says, by the way, are you still receiving YouTube membership for your channel? Yes, absolutely. So if you can click a button on my YouTube, it will say member. It's something that I actually really appreciate you guys doing. So yeah, click subscribe. There's a join button that okay, that's a creepy face and that's a creepy hey there. But this is something that I really appreciate. We one of the biggest reasons, biggest motivators when I came back to crypto, because I took a long break, right? I was just exhausted making videos, to be honest, and it's just mentally draining sometimes. And when I came back, I saw, wow, people were resubscribing to my membership, even though I haven't made videos. So like that was like so motivating for me. That was just like, wow, like guys, like thank you guys. Like I actually really appreciate it. Like there are people there that really subscribe to membership for such a long time. So thank you guys. So Elijah Kellen here. You have Alien. So thank you, Elijah. Yeah, people with the smileys next to their names, they're the real heroes here. They're the real heroes here. And I'm gonna try to make more content. I'm gonna really try to make more content. And I've been learning how to make more content. It's actually really fun. Initially, it seems so intimidating because I'm like, wow, everyone's stepping up their game. But when the fun kicks in, it's really amazing. It's really fun to make content, make something different and refreshing. So my latest video, I actually started the filming that video outside. It's so fun to just film outside, grab an iPhone, film outside, and switch locations once in a while. I've been trying very different things right now, and just filming and getting people just randomly to film me with just a random camera with different scenes, and it's very fun. It's very fun, guys, and I really appreciate doing this live stream with you guys. It's a new room. I was like super paranoid before because like I was like, oh my god, like is the background okay? Is the audio okay? But it turns out it's great. So I really appreciate it, guys. It's actually a really important time to be back in crypto. I made my arguments, but I'll talk about them here. It's like channel update. I'm back. So right now is actually a very important time. Obviously, the most important thing, I mean, right now is to protect your freaking money, right? That is the most important thing. Like if there's any one thing you need to do right now is to make sure your funds are safe. So now you have all the information, right? You know roughly exactly how much money Circle has on Silicon Valley Bank, 25%, right? Roughly speaking, right? The current math is that if 92% gets back, right? That means they should be fine because they'll only be losing around $100-ish million. And we did some rough calculation, assuming that their deposits are generating interest at 4%, they'll be making $400+ million per year. So they can cover that hole. But the problem here is what we're going to observe what the receivership amount is going to be. If it's going to be 92%, or if it's going to be 80%, 50%, we don't know yet, right? That's where the FDIC, that's where the government has come in and just say what's happening. We're also going to see if there's going to be a bailout, right? It could be the case that Silicon Valley Bank gets bailed out. Maybe. But the problem here is that's a good case, right? Optimistic case is they either get bailed out or the damage is not going to be that big. Pessimistic case is that damage is big, people freak out more, and other banks are going to fall too, right? I saw this infographic. I think this image of the Grim Reaper meme. Man, this is the problem with crypto. Not the problem with crypto. This is the problem with. This is the problem with Twitter. Sometimes if you don't retweet something, you don't get it. But like, what about the other banks? What about Credit Suisse? Right? Will those fall? Wells Fargo. This is the domino effect in full play. This is really the domino effect in full play here. So yeah, I mean, bigger and bigger institutions, and it just goes to how it goes to show how messed up the banking sector is. It's like, prior to coming into crypto, you think, oh, right, people, you put money in banks, they're mature people who would, value your safety, value customer funds. That is not the case. They are YOLO, right? All these banks are YOLO. You think we're crazy in crypto? The banking sector is even worse, right? Because they can have rogue traders who, well, they're just given billions of dollars and they just click buttons and trade that, right? Like the stuff that you see, those YOLO trades that you see, like these big collapses caused by YOLO trades. And for bankers, it's just nothing. It's just money, right? And if you think of it from a trader's perspective, they have nothing to lose, right? They're just playing with customer funds. If they win, they get a big fat bonus. If they lose, well, whatever, they just get fired, find another job, right? And yeah, this is crazy. So, anyways, just in Silicon Valley Bank CEO sold 3.57 million worth of SIVB stock in the past 2 weeks. They knew, man. Those guys, they knew. There's no way, right? It's like Sam Bankman-Fried, right? Like SBF, he knew it was a big freaking disaster at FTX. It's just that the sad part is that other people around him didn't know, right? I think that was the biggest problem. But he knew 100%. He's playing dumb right now, but he knew 100% that it was going down. And I think the largest reason and the largest motivation of why FTX went down so quickly and people believe that they're out of money was because SBF was trying to raise money, and he was doing it in such a shady way that people were starting to become suspicious. They're like, we don't have evidence that FTX is in trouble, but you look shady AF right now, and you sound shady AF right now, so I'm going to withdraw, right? So I think that was one of the biggest reasons. All the top guys, they always know what is happening, right? Scary. We're in crazy times. And like going back to the original topic, right now is a very important time. So number one, before I didn't say this in this video, but number one, the reason to be back is to protect your funds. Figure out what is happening. Figure out these numbers in your heads, right? That's what I'm doing, right? I can recite these numbers now, right? So if I see numbers like, oh yeah, receivership isn't going well, 80%. Well, I have to revise. Let's go back. Take a look at these numbers. I know what's happening, right? We got Elijah Killen says, bankers are the cause of the most of the earth's suffering. Advark Biscuit says, being a conspiracy theorist, I believe FTX was designed to go down, right? And run certain people and put the whole crypto industry into dispute. Whether or not this is true, I actually don't believe this is true, because I'll tell you about that in a later video, but I actually don't believe this is true. But what I do believe, right, is that the FTX incident really caused or gave regulators the reason to go after crypto. I mean, our last video was that we made here was lawmakers are killing crypto, and it's absolutely freaking true, right? Joe Biden has just like he's just trying to stomp it out, right? tax on crypto mining. Huh? Like these completely asinine policies that completely don't make sense. But he's just drawing his last breath here, right? New capital gains tax. I mean, this is, I don't know. This is just insanity. All right. Crypto Glasson says, if you have a lot of money in stables, would you split between 3 major stables or take most into fiat for the time being? This is actually a really, really good question. All right. So here's what I'll say. Yet again, not financial advice. All right. Yet again, here's what I would do. All right. So first and foremost, if I have stables that I am not going to touch. So if I have stables that I'm not going to deploy, this is very important, right? Because if I'm not going to deploy that crypto, that means that the safest form of that crypto is actually in the banking system. Because there is FDIC insurance, right? So if you split those funds up into multiple banks, right? So say if you have $1 million, the top strategy of that would be to split it between 4 FDIC insured banks, right? So that means you have more certainty of getting that money out. And if the money is out, it's at least insured in some way or the other. So now you have an extra form of protection. So if you load everything into one bank, well, that's going to be bad. So the worst option here, I would say, like that's something I wouldn't do, is to load that into Signature right now, right? It's the easiest way to do it because transferring crypto to Signature because the crypto friendly is good, but that's definitely not something I would do. Now, the good thing about me is personally, I'm in Hong Kong right now, and the banks are finally becoming crypto friendly, right? This depends on which jurisdiction you're in, because traditionally what was a big problem and why stablecoins are so big is that a lot of countries are not crypto friendly, right? And if you're not in a crypto friendly country, then it's a little bit painful, but consider opening accounts in crypto friendly countries. That's very important. Now, what I would do is split that up. The other way I would do it is I would decide, like what I'm doing right now as well, is I'm deciding if I need to increase my Bitcoin holdings. Right now, this time is going to be a time of high volatility. The market's not very good right now. Like I'll be very bluntly honest. And it's very unlikely I'm going to move more funds into Bitcoin at this current point. Right? The instability, like right now, like for me, my crypto strategy is centered around airdrops. I know it sounds really a little bit lame right now. All right, airdrops, huh? You want $50, huh? Are you poor, Michael? I think some people will be saying that, but no, airdrops this year are freaking amazing, right? We know Machi Big Brother. He's been farming up Blur airdrops. He got like 1.8 million in Blur airdrops, right? Being competitive and being aggressive in farming airdrops, that's the thing, and that's what I'm focused on. Like that seems to be the current meta right now. So I'm not exactly jumping into Bitcoin just yet. I feel like that was a mistake I made in the past where like the moment I see a bank go down, oh my God, I'm going to buy Bitcoin, right? But now that I'm older, I feel like, all right, it takes a while for people to respond and there might be a big crash before that. So it's still wise to hold a reserve of stables able to go back in and buy more. Because I think the biggest complaint people have been saying, and all the apes and all the degens, right? They're out of stables. Right? I constantly see that on Twitter. Oh, I'm out of stables. Right? That's the mistake I'm not gonna make. So yeah. So my personal take right now will be probably to balance the funds between multiple banks that are insured. It actually makes sense, just depending on where you are. But that actually makes logical sense. The other thing I'm doing right now, and I got shat on for this too. Like I went on a channel and they're like, "What are you doing now, Michael?" I'm like, "I'm buying gold." They're like, "What? Are you stupid? Gold? Are you dumb?" But yeah, I'm buying gold and physical gold too. Not like shitty paper gold, but like real chunks of gold. And it's quite crazy, right? Because gold, it just has that bling bling to it. It just feels good. So yeah, just buying stuff that holds value, right? Why not? Oh, sure, it doesn't give me a 5% interest or 4% interest, but why not? Why not buy gold, right? It's real. You can touch it, especially because I have so much exposure to crypto. I need some real stuff, right? You can't jump around and like hold bars of gold and do exercise with bars of gold, but you with Bitcoin, but you can do that with gold, right? So yeah. Cupcake 1001 says, "Can't believe you still want to play in the bank space." So this is weird about me. I believe in Bitcoin, and the thing is, when you go into Bitcoin, right, you're gonna meet maxis, right? These Bitcoin maximalists that believe that Bitcoin is the only form of currency, and they'll never ever make a bank account. They'll never touch banks ever again, right? Because just how shady and shitty banks are. But the problem here with me is I still need to spend money, right? I still need to live my life, and we're still not there yet. I want to push it forward, right? I want everyone to take Bitcoin. I want that to happen, but excuse me if I want to spend with my credit card and get my points sometimes, right? Sorry, right? It's still necessary to have some stables, especially if you this is close to doxing my age, right? But I'm not as young anymore. I can't afford, like, I still need to be able to have physical assets, and I'm looking at properties, and I need to interact with the traditional world. So the good part about us in Hong Kong is that there's other facilities that allow us to spend crypto, but sometimes you still have to have a little bit of money in the bank. It's just for a safety as well. It's just mitigating risk. So it's no longer viable for me to be 100% in crypto and 100% in Bitcoin. It's to do with spending, risk management. Because crypto prices fluctuate like this, I need to make sure that when I'm spending, and now that I have a team now, they get paid in fiat, right? Because they still have to live, right? And we actually seen a few pretty big disasters in different companies, FTX, where employees, they took out most of their payments in crypto or FTT tokens, and then they get evicted, right? So that's one of those things. So that's why I still have some money in the banks. But now the added importance is to split that between different banks. All right, guys. So yeah, it's been a long stream. It's almost been an hour. I can't believe that. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really enjoy hanging out with you guys. Nothing is safe. I'm going to cover a little bit more. Something that's quite interesting is, Jeff got me. So I actually spoke to Machi Big Brother when I was in Taiwan. So I have a Taiwan video coming up with what I'm doing in Taiwan. I also started farming Blur. So, as a farmer, it's necessary to figure out how to farm Blur. And it's not easy. I can tell you guys, it's no longer easy to farm. It's actually a war game right now. It's a game of war. It's a game of chicken. This is my boxmoney.eth account, and yeah, I'm trading JPEGs now. I'm listing different JPEGs. I'm buying different things. I mean, I'm like Jeff showing me deal with those apes, so I bought one of these apes. I'm also placing bids on Blur to earn those loyalty pro points. So I have 0.79 points right now. And I'll give you some insight into how it's going. It's not easy because of how these prices fluctuate. So I'm currently targeting other deeds. I just didn't want to inject that much. Like, basically, the whole TLDR for Blur farming is you need to target one of these collections of JPEGs with a lot of trade volume. So if you're a baller, obviously you can go for the Bored Ape Yacht Club. If you're not baller, which I'm still kind of just figuring out things, then you can go for Other Deed. So I've been playing with Other Deed for a while, and it's kind of funny. You can see this battle. These price changes where the price goes up, some major dump happens, the price goes down. So the whole point of Blur air farming is you got to place these bids for NFTs. And I'm seeing different variations and different patterns of what's happening with how these bids work and how different people are manipulating the system to make sure that they have more airdrop points. I mean, Machi right now, he's at 115,000 points. right? This is insane. Like these guys have different milking strategies for how to earn different points. It's a whale game. It's a whale game, and it's almost like a game of poker. That's how Mashi described it. Almost like a game of poker, and they just need to outmind fuck each other. Okay, can I swear here? I don't know, but anyways, it's quite interesting. But that's how the farming for Blur works. Because like right now, we know that there's 300 million Blur tokens that are going to be given out in season 2, and with these current prices, it's, let's see, Blur right now. Is it $? Actually, no, fine. That's like 150 million US dollars worth of Blur being distributed in the second airdrop. So yeah, it's war for 150 million dollars. Not bad. So anyways, guys, I'm going to cover it. I'm going to share a lot of insights. I so far have spent quite a bit of money farming JPEGs. It's something that I almost never wanted to do. I've always been calling these things JPEGs. Why do people trade money for it? But now I'm buying these things for 1.7 ETH. I wouldn't be surprised if you see me next week degenning and buying some different collections and just farming up those Blur points. It's just too tempting. I can't resist. I really cannot resist farming. I think the next one I'm gonna move up to is Mutant Apes. I think Mutant Apes. We'll see how that goes, and then just trade them and see. So we'll see. It's 14 ETH right now. So I'm looking. Prices are dumped. So yeah, prices are dumped. So maybe play some bids, get some points, and if I get the NFT, we'll see. It's very interesting. So Crystal says only a whale game for now. I do think so. I do think it's a whale game because so much money is at stake. So I would say that airdrops this season is very, very different because just how much money is at stake. I feel like all of a sudden, like with these airdrops, projects are finally rewarding their community, like us, the people who actually matter, to be honest. Like us, me, you, everyone who's part of this, who's growing their platforms, they're finally rewarding us. But they're doing it in a very interesting way, and there's very different strategies for it. So what I would say is come to boxmining.com. So I've actually tasked Ronald, one of my team members. He's working on airdrops, and Angela's actually working on airdrops too. So they're both working on just like massive coverage for now of different airdrops, and we're giving them different ratings of how difficult it is to get this airdrop and what the strategy for these including step by step, how to get the airdrops and how to generate blockchain based evidence that you've been using it, that you're part of this community, because that's the most important part, right? You gotta not only register, not only do your socials, but you gotta use their platforms, right? So we have step-by-step guides right now that's popping up on boxmoney.com /airdrops. And what we're going to do in the future is we're going to kind of rank those and give you guys monthly updates, because that's what's important, right? The problem also with airdrops is that you don't know how much you get until you get it, right? I mean, we were all here for Uniswap airdrops, right? Uniswap airdrops are huge last year. But anyways, that's what part of my team is focused on working on, providing you. Angela, thank you for posting boxmoney.com /airdrops. Keep an eye out for that. And then I have a fun comment. I just saw that just now. So it was box mining providing that exit liquidity. Hey, I know what I'm getting into. Okay, I know what I'm getting into. I'm buying JPEGs for 10 ETH. Okay, I know what I'm getting into. I know this. So it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. I'll probably break even, but I'm gonna have a fun time doing it. So that's gonna be fun. Trade JPEGs. Let's do it, guys. Also, upcoming events. So Hong Kong is actually pretty big right now for cryptocurrencies. It's kind of funny to talk about the positive, especially when we have so much negative in the US. But Asia is actually heating up. So this summit actually came at a very good time. So this is the WOW Summit. So this is going to happen later on this March, so March 29th to 30th. So I'm going to attend this conference. I'm also getting a speaking slot there. So wow, this guy is Honorable Speaker, Mr. Joseph Chang, Undersecretary for Financial Service in the Treasury of Hong Kong government. So what's happening right now is Hong Kong government is aggressively coming to crypto events. Right, this is signaling that China is going to 180, right? They got approval pretty much, and that's what they're signaling. They're not going to come and tell us they got approval, but basically the Chinese government, Beijing, pretty much is allowing Hong Kong to explore this Web3 space. So this conference is huge. So we got, the Treasury of Hong Kong, Undersecretary and the Treasury of Hong Kong, they're coming here. Also, you can see the exchanges are also ramping up the expenditure. So general sponsor got OKX, right? They're throwing money here out because they know that Hong Kong is the next battleground. Like we're almost like the proxy battleground for winning over the Asian audience for cryptocurrency exchanges, right? So we have Invest HK, FinTech HK, startups. We have Meeting of Business Hong Kong. Basically, all the government entities are just plowing into this. And so I'm gonna get a speaking role here. I'm still organizing how to do it. I was like a little bit last minute to speak. I was like, I want to speak at this event. So I'm definitely gonna attend it. And we're also gonna talk with Bowie. So Bowie is very, very well connected here. She's very connected with the different people, different organizations. She's one of the co-organizers of the event. So we're going to bring her onto this channel to just talk about what's happening in Hong Kong. So if you guys have questions as well, leave that down below in the comments. We'll ask you questions about what's happening in Hong Kong, get a real take, get some real insight for you guys here on this channel. I really want to provide that for you guys. So make sure, that's good. Also, Damian Wen says, only half of us click like. What's the other half waiting for? Please do click like. It actually does help. I'm reading all these it's kind of funny yesterday. I started reading and watching all these videos about like how to build YouTube again. Just coming back is difficult. And all these things actually help. So yeah, please do click like. Please do share this with your friends. Apparently now the key, the meta game for this is to get get this video into other people's browse histories. So so if you share this with a friend and it goes into the browse history, then my videos will pop up in the future. Okay, so that's how it works. Okay, cool. YouTube algorithm has changed. It's how to do it. So make sure so Damian Wins, thank you so much for reminding everyone. You reminding me even. I even forget this. So make sure you click like, subscribe, click that bell icon. I'm doing more shorts as well. It's actually really fun to get back into making content. It's really exciting. I'm making shorts now too. So finally, I just published 2 shorts. I'm still not very good at it, guys. All right, but I'm trying to be young. That's what old people say. Also, we have Box Mining Testnet. So this is a new channel that I'm cooking up. Well, rather it's more for beta, right? So we have Natalie, who is providing news now. So she's providing daily news in 5 minutes or less. So this is a test net for her content. She's just learning how to film, and she's learning super fast. I'm actually super impressed. Like initially, she's like, I don't want to go in front of a camera. Maybe I can do a video every other week. I'm like, do it every day. All right, I almost swore there, but you can put those words in. Like, do it every day. All right, and she is. All right, she's producing content every day. It's getting there. It's getting there. It's not perfect yet. It's getting there. I'm actually having very good feedback from you guys too. So I told you about this guys yesterday, and we're starting to have some really good feedback on this channel. We're always testing new content. So that's coming, and I'm figuring out how to integrate that with the main channel here, how to provide you with that news. It might be a 50-50 mix between me and Natalie, but having a helping hand really helps with crypto, because I know crypto is one of those things that you need to just constantly update you guys. I think that's one thing I really wanted to provide for this season, is to have the constant update there. So yeah, and constant live streams too. So guys, thank you guys so much for your support. Robert Liu says, OG, do you remember your first YouTube video? Yes, I do. And I was making a video on Ephraim. Ephraim. Yeah, Ephraim's the best, man. Get some more Ephraim. And it worked pretty well so far, to be honest. But I actually really appreciate it. I would actually say that YouTube actually forced me to learn a lot more about crypto. It's actually really thanks to you guys. You guys are always asking me, hey, learn about this, learn about that. And even for Blur, I was so close to not learning how the Blur airdrop worked. I was just like, oh, you know what, just rough it, YOLO it, whatever, right? Just make an article, get the general comments. But then I realized that's not good enough. That's not box mining quality, right? If you want, guys are coming to box mining channel, you want box mining quality. You want to see what the real alpha is, how the people are making millions. We don't want $50, right? We want millions of dollars here. So that's what matters here. So that's when I said, you know what? I'm gonna load up my account. I'm gonna farm JPEGs, all right? Because I'm doing this for you guys, and it worked pretty well because I actually learned a lot too. And by delivering you guys good intel, I actually get good intel too. So it actually works out both. So so thank you guys so much for coming. Stu G says appreciate content. I really appreciate you guys as well. Yeah, thank you guys so much for walking. Click the bell icon. Box fan asked, Bowie is her first name. Yeah, man, people have crazy. No, I'm not gonna make fun. I'm not gonna make jokes. She's not a very humorous person. All right. Anyways, guys, we're gonna do so much here today, guys. So, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Click the like, share this video. See you. Great live.